I have actually been pretty pressured into doing this, but hey everyone. Um, it has been so long since I've done my last video, like literally since before GCSEs, and it is currently like A levels. A levels are over. Let me tell you that A levels are completely over, completely done, which is crazy. Which is kind of like why I'm doing this now, because it has like I've always had something that stopped me from doing this. Like I had my A levels, like I was just busy with that, and now that like all of that's done, like why not, right? I don't see anything stopping me anymore. So I woke up today and I was like, look, it's such a nice day. Instead of going outside, let me film a video because I don't like going outside. No, I could actually go to the beach right now, but that means I have to take the train and because okay, so I'm at my babushka's house, and that means, and she's currently at work, so I could either wait for her so that we could go together, or I could just go by myself. But I have a thing for public transport. Don't really like that. So I can just wait. Yeah, and but no better way to wait other than be with you guys. Yeah. So today I'm going to be doing a reading wrap up for May and June, and the reason I'm doing it for 2 months, again, exams. I haven't been able to read as much as I normally would have. Like April was the month between mocks and the start of exams, so I read 11 books then, which isn't that much, but it's still like more than I did for both. Actually, May and June altogether, that was 7 plus 6. 7 plus 6. That's how many books? 13 books. I read 13 books. So it's kind of good. Most of my books I have read on my Kindle. Actually, no, all of the books ever since I got my Kindle. Actually, I love my Kindle. It's my whole life. Ever since I got my Kindle, I have been reading on it non-stop. Only because like with exams and stuff, I haven't been able to like set out like a specific like I'm gonna read like for this much like I have loads of free time to read right now or something. So I've just been like reading like while eating, like while literally taking the rubbish out, like literally everywhere. So this it's so small, it literally fits in my bag, in my handbag, and I take it everywhere. So it's great. It's great. I love it. And I even have like little pop sockets for it. I have a different one, but right now I'm with this one. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can tell you. Um, right. Let's get on to the like exciting bit, the May and June reading wrap up. Let me just like I have my iPad right here, and it literally has everything because I remember nothing. At the moment I finished reading it, um, it's like it's just no. Perfect. Okay, so Kindle. Do you know what? Let me get the book up. Actually, no, it'll take me too long. I don't know where it is. Um, so I'll put it on the screen so you can see what book it is. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So the first ones I read in May were the When He Desires and When He Takes. So that was the Fallen God duet. I gave that 3.5 stars together. I couldn't really decide what one I was gonna give what, so I just did 3.5 together and like just mush that together. Do you know what? That was by who did I? Oh my gosh, I can't remember who wrote that. Okay, so do you know what? You're gonna see it, so you're gonna know who wrote it. But so I give it 3.5 stars. The reason for that was because first of all, it was a bit slow paced. There was little action, but there was some at the end of the book, which I quite liked. At the end of the first book. And this duet followed on to another series by the same author. And do you know what? If I'm not wrong, it was written by Sharon. No, it was written by Chantal Tessier. There we go. It was not Sharon. What am I on about? I'm feeling very silver today, just like all of this is so silver. Anyway, so it's written by Chantal Tessier, and I have it kind of like led on from a previous book series that I read, and I really liked that book series. And so this one was 2 books, it was a duet, so there's 2 books going on here, and I feel like she's written here in 2 books what she's previously written in like one. So it was kind of stretched out. Um, I did find that it was quite interesting. It wasn't what like something I've read before. Well, okay, it was kind of similar, but like it was like different, which was interesting. So the main female character, the FMC, she got on my nerves. Yes, towards the end, she got on my nerves quite a bit. She was kind of like, she had so many internal problems. Like, girl, please just go to therapy at this point. Like, please. Um, and like, I hate the miscommunication trope. So that's kind of what happened. She has so many internal problems. She did not communicate them well, and yeah, she was kind of a bit hot and cold, which I was just not very happy about. So yeah, that's the first two books done. So they were 3.5 stars. Okay, next one. So we're kind of going downhill here a bit. Pretty Girls, Pretty Dead Girls by Monica Murphy, and I gave that 2.5 stars because I thought this one was quite cool because it had Jewel Puff, which I really like, but this one, it was the main character and it was the killer. So at first, that was quite confusing because like I didn't know it was gonna be the killer. Like we got no information on that. We find out later, like we kind of like um figure it out. But I thought that was really cool. So we have the main character, so the main female character, and we have the killer. Unfortunately, we do not get a main male character's POV. POV, I don't know. But it was still really good. Like the whole like dual POV thing, like with the killer and the main character. So basic backstory here is that there's a murder that happens at school, and it happens to these girls who are all in this like school club. It's like the most popular and smartest girls, and they're like all overachieving, and slowly each one of them gets murdered. So it was a good plot, it was interesting, and I have read books by Monica Murphy that I really, really liked. I have the Thousand Boy Kisses, I think that's what it's called. I loved that series. It's actually like my screensaver for my iPad. Like it's behind that. And yeah, I really like that book. I have that whole series at home and I really, really like that. However, for this one, we don't really get to know much about the characters. We don't like the romance is strange and unrealistic, and we just don't get told much about them. And I feel like the most interesting character, so the guy, we don't get much like build up of him, like not much character development there, which I was really sad about because I really, really thought he was interesting. He has like an actual backstory, and it was just all a bit wishy-washy, really. So it was between it was the Lancaster Prep series. There we go. I have it written here. It was the Lancaster Prep series that I really liked and I really enjoyed. But here, it's just, I don't think it was really well done because he kind of came out of nowhere and he was just acting weird the whole time. So you were kind of second guessing him, which I guess is what happens in a murder mystery. But then like it's just I don't think it was really like developed properly and it could have been better. Next series we have the Ruinous Love trilogy. I have been so excited to read that, but I did want to wait until all three books have come out. So that's the Butcher and what Butcher and Blackbird, the Lever and Lark, and Scythe and Sparrow, I think the last one was called. I am so hot in here. It is literally a greenhouse. But I don't want to put my hair up. I never put my hair up. This is literally like my everyday outfit. You'll never see me with like my hair up. I look very rowdy. I actually have a picture of myself with my hair up on Instagram. So do go check that out. Because I will never have my hair up. Willingly. Yeah. Unless it was for that picture. Yeah. Anyway, back to the books. Right, so Butcher and Blackbird was the first one I read. I gave that one 3.5 stars, so we're back on track. So 3.5 stars for me is quite good. Like I would recommend a 3.5 star book. Yeah, so I did like this one. We did jump straight into things. This one was really interesting with the fact that it kind of threw you into the plot. Like you knew nothing. We kind of like, what is this? It kind of just like started, like the plot just started. Ooh, that's a nice breeze. That is a really nice breeze. Anyway, yeah, really cool plot. The plot was great. It was literally so good. Very unexpected start again. The whole build up of that was quite good. Um, there was some light teasing. I am so for light teasing. All of these were enemies to lovers. I can't lie. I love enemies to lovers. Very, very. I just love that. Like you see the worst in person, but you still fall in love, which is just so cute. Anyway, so there's some light teasing that happens. Like she keeps calling him pretty boy and he keeps blushing, which is just making me blush. And okay, the ending, I didn't see it coming. Oh, the plot twist. I didn't see it coming at all. The plot twist, okay, I remember the plot twist. It was crazy. Like, okay, I kind of saw it coming. I was like, you kind of suspect it, but then you're like, no way. So you just kind of put it off. Like, the moment, like, you get it. It's just crazy. It was a good plot twist, a very good plot twist. And I did like the epilogue. Epilogue. I don't really know how to say it. I'm sorry, guys. It's like, I just had a heart attack. That was like a massive lie. You don't get those in the UK. I like, that's not a species I've seen before. Do flies have different species? What is it doing? I'm literally on the 8th floor. What are they? Okay, whatever. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right, book. I forgot. Okay, so this book, it was close to 4 stars, but I ended up giving it 3.5 because it didn't make me cry. It didn't make me cry because I don't know. But I don't necessarily give books more like a higher rating because it made me cry, but it just means that I've kind of like I've been there with the character and I felt it. And a lot happened in this, so I kind of would have expected to cry, but I didn't. Oh, epilogue, really good because it's not your typical happily ever after kind of thing. It's more of a cliffhanger for the next book, which I thought was quite good. Because I mean, I I waited for everything to come out before I read it, so I don't get this like hold up, and so that I don't forget what happened in the first book before starting the second book. So yeah. Okay, my favorite quote from this is she keeps telling him, like throughout the book, I really like how this happened. Throughout the book, it's like she keeps saying, "Oh my god, you're the worst," and then he's like, "You'll love me someday." And then like they kept having that until like at the end she was like, "I think I'm falling for him." Like, you know, I love that. I really, really like that. Okay, book 2 now. So Leather and Lark. So this one followed Lachlan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Lachlan and Lark. And this was a marriage of convenience. Like it was really spontaneous marriage of convenience. Like genuinely, they had like nothing in common going on. Actually, just their friends. Lark is Sparrow. What was her name? Oh, Sloane and Rowan. So Sloane and Rowan were book 1. Lachlan is Rowan's brother, and Lark is Sloane's best friend. There we go. So this was a marriage of convenience, and basically someone was killing off Lark's people. So Lark, her family's quite well off. So basically someone was killing off Lark's people and people who are close to her and her family. And Lachlan is a suspect, but she knows that he wouldn't do it because of how Lachlan's younger brother is like romantically related now. Like that whole thing with Sloane. So she just knows it wouldn't be him because why would he do that? That makes no sense. So she knows it's not him, and so the whole plot is kind of based around that, about like this suspect. Again, it's kind of like murder mystery, but it kind of isn't because that's not the main focus of the plot. And it doesn't really make sense the whole book because until it does, like it just doesn't until it does. It's literally it because you get POVs from this guy that it's literally a random guy. So Rowan killed. Okay, did I mention that they're both serial killers in the last book? I just have this whole serial killer vibe going on at the minute. So Sloane and Rowan are both serial killers, and that is how everything happens. So everyone's still serial killers here, but just like not as much. Why is that. Like, do you see? I hate flies. I'm actually pretty scared of them. So yeah, it's just kind of centered around them being serial killers, and then it doesn't make sense because we've got this random third POV of like this someone's brother that Rowan has killed. So Rowan's killed this guy, and then his brother is the POV that we're getting in this book. This third random POV. So we don't know who that is until like the end. We figure out after a couple of encounters like who the murderer is. So it wasn't shocking, but when the characters do find out that like who it is, then that's shocking because I was pretty shocked. Like that whole like I don't know, I was pretty shocked. I did really like though how Lachlan like they knew each other on such an intimate level. Like it was just so cute because like even her best friend Sloane didn't know Lark as well as Lachlan ended up knowing her. Like he knew such like a dark side of her that she didn't want to tell her best friend because she thought her best friend wouldn't like accept that, which I thought wasn't like it was just yeah. Anyway, I cried so much. I cried like a ton, like literally a ton. Like with everything going on with Lark, her backstory, everything. Like it was really sad. I did really like her aunt. Her aunt, that was cute. Did she die? I'm pretty sure her aunt died. I don't remember, but I was really sad. Oh, do you know what really annoyed me? He is Irish, I think. Yes, he's Irish and he has an Irish accent. And I haven't met anyone with an, oh, there we go. I haven't met anyone with an Irish accent, so I don't know how this sounds. So I was sitting there, like, literally, trying to, like, he would say stuff like Christ Jesus and, like, feckin'. And I was, like, sitting there with my Kindle, like, how do I say that? Like, literally, I tried to put it into Google Translate, but Google Translate isn't, like, good with accents, I guess. And then I typed in like Irish accent, like kind of into it didn't sound like what they said it sounded, what the author said it sounded like. So I kind of just like went with the Irish accent that I think it would sound like. Does that even make sense? Well, you guys can make sense of it, and yeah. That's everything for book 2, the Ruinous Love Trilogy, book 2. Now, moving on to book 3. I gave this one, so Lever and Lark, I gave 4 stars. And the next one, Scythe and Sparrow, I gave that one 4 stars as well. So, that was good reads. Yeah. At first, I was kind of put off by the whole thing of her being a fortune teller, only because I don't believe in that. So I don't believe in like tarot cards and everything. And this followed Rose and Fionn. And Rose is such a fun character. I'm so happy like they didn't put this book down because she's such a fun character. And I found it really interesting how this happened. Like book 1 and book 2 happened in chronological order. They followed each other. But book 3, it like happened in between and during. So we get like all these like okay, so to us it's like flashbacks, but to them it's like kind of like it follows the plot, but like we have like book 3 happening and then we have bits of book 2 and book 1, all of this. So yeah. Actually is a bit of book 1 and then I think it was book 2 as well. So yeah. Yeah, it was. It lasted more than any of the other other love stories, like time wise, like on a timeline. There we go. Um okay. Their downfall, so you know like the whole like the bit that we the build up and downfall, you know, all of that. I don't actually climax. I feel like I just like that's just not it. Okay, well, I haven't done English in a while. So like proper English at school, you know, like that. I hate English. But yeah, I'm more a maths person. Anyway, whatever, literally whatever. So their downfall was his mistake. Like it was just I was so mad at him, and I feel like it might have been because of like the stress of the situation and the panic, but I don't know. I feel like 100% for sure I would have done what he didn't want to do. I don't see why he did like what he did. Like I still like okay, I can kind of see it, but I don't not really. I like why would you not trust someone that close over some like seriously? Because like they were close. Him and his brother were close. So I feel like because they're that close, you would trust your brother more than a stranger, pretty much a stranger, or like a dangerous person. Like you just understand. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it. I cried for this so much, so much. I literally cried so much. As I said, I didn't like the tarot cards, but they kept coming up. Like it was just like this repeated thing, and by the end, I really liked them because it started with the tarot cards, ended with the tarot cards. It was like this whole cycle, and I was just like, they grew on me. It was just so nice. Yeah, and oh, we have two epilogues going on. The first one, happily ever after, all the three couples. However, the second epilogue is quite unexpected. I did check, and oh, I think this was by Bryn Weaver, and she doesn't actually plan to release any more books. However, there's this like, yeah, there's this epilogue that's just completely random, leaves you on a cliffhanger, and I was just yeah. Okay, we have like three books. Oh no, we have a few more books left. I feel like I've been talking forever. Anyway, so Credence by Penelope Douglas. I know this one is such a like controversial book. I was going to rate it 2.5 stars, but I ended up rating it 3 stars because of the last 20% of the book. So what I didn't like was the fact that she slept with everyone. She literally slept with everyone, the whole house. And there wasn't much action, but the ending was good and it got more interesting and more stuff had happened, which is why I ended up giving it 3 stars. So yeah, but I mean, I kind of knew going into the book that she slept with everyone, but I just didn't like that. Even though I knew it, she slept with her uncle and his 2 kids. Like, come on. I don't know, that's kind of weird. I don't mind an age gap, but seriously? Okay, that's literally everything I have to say for that. Next book, Penelope Douglas again, Misconduct. So, age gap 12 years. Come on, chef's kiss, literally chef's kiss. She's 23 and he's 34. Sign me up, like, come on. Okay, it was forbidden and she was his teacher. The one thing I didn't like was the fact that she was his kid's teacher. There we go. She wasn't his teacher. She was his kid's teacher. I didn't really like that she was his kid's teacher, only because I feel like, I don't know, I have just recently finished school, so I still like see teachers as someone who just teaches kids. Like they don't have like, I know that's like really horrible, but like that's what everybody feels like at first. Like, do teachers really have a life outside of teaching? Like a romantic life, especially as steamy as that one. Like, come on. So yeah, Forbidden. She's his kid's teacher. And years ago, she was part of this big scandal, and now she's running. And now he's running for Senate. And it kind of clashes because he's always in public, and she doesn't really like that because of what happened. And I did really like the kid Christian. Yeah, big plot twist at the end, huge plot twist. But after that, it's just kind of like really I am cool. But after that, it's kind of like really quickly forgotten. So personally, I would have liked the plot twist to have been at least briefly mentioned in the epilogue because I see it could have been like brought back again. I finished the book in like 2 days. Good book, very good book. Yeah, literally 2 bites, 2 days, quick. Next book. Okay, we're back to the serial killer. Next book was Serial Killer Games. I gave this one 4 stars. I thought it was quite good. Like the first chapter, we were already jumping into the deep end because it's like it's 2 minutes long, and like straight away I was shocked. Like it was like, okay, right now I don't remember what it was, but according to my iPad, crazy. So we're gonna go with that. It was pretty crazy. So there was a dual POV. Let's call it POV. That sounds nicer. Dual POV. All of these books so far had a dual POV. So yeah, even though I didn't say it, they did have it. So they don't say whose POV is whose at the start, but you start figuring it out. And then I really liked how the author spent about a third of the book building the characters up, but she did it in such a way that she spent the next third of the book uncovering, wait, two thirds of the book uncovering their mysteries. And it was very, very cutesy, which I like that. I cried a lot. Like, there's a recurring thing here. I've been crying a lot, but that means I've really been invested in the characters. So there you go. Okay, next book by H.D. Carlton. Does It Hurt? I haven't rated this book. If I'm honest with you, I haven't rated it. I don't know what to rate it. I read, okay, another controversial opinion. I read the Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. I loved that book. That is my second favorite. Both of them, like the whole duet. That's my second favorite book. Like, I've just mushed them together and it's become my second favorite book. My first favorite book is by Stabby. Saint Abby. It's meant to read Stabby. It's the Mindfuck series. Oh my gosh, devoured. Loved that book. Loved that series. Oh my gosh, literally the best thing ever. It was like 30 quid on Amazon, that whole book. Best 30 quid of my life. Like, I loved it so much. Anyway, back to Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I didn't like him at start. He was so horrible to her. I hated him. Like, okay, I get enemies to lovers, but like, this is like next level. This is brutal. Like, okay, she stole your identity and set up another bank account so that she could use it, but she literally barely spent any money and she needed that money to survive. Like, I know he didn't know that, but like, he's already met her, so she didn't like steal his identity and he didn't know her and he liked her. So what? Like, come on, like, let's not be that dramatic about it. The plot was pretty good. There was a lot of smut, which I didn't mind that much, but I feel like towards the end I was getting tired of it because I wanted more of the plot and less of the smut. Okay, plot twist. I kind of okay, you're reading it and you're like, okay, I bet it's this. It is this, but how horrific it is, I did not see that coming. But you kind of do see it coming, but just not the extent of how horrible it is. Okay, I didn't rate that one because I was so like conflicted on to what to rate it. But if I did have to rate it, I'd probably rate it 2.53 stars because, like, I don't know, I didn't really like the amount of smut that was in the book, but the plot twist, it wasn't too bad. Okay, next two books I have, I'm gonna do them together because it was by Ali Hazelwood and I think it's called the Not in Love series. And I've read the first one, so Not in Love, and I've read the second one, Problematic Summer Romance. I don't think there's any more so far, but these are my, this is like, Not in Love, so the first one, was the second book I read by Ali Hazelwood. The first one I read was Deep End, and I hated that book. Like, I'm so sorry, I hated that book. I'm not going to go too much into that because I haven't read it this month. I can't remember anything about it, but I did hate it. Not in Love, that one was quite good. I gave that one 3 stars, 3.5 stars, and 3.5 stars, and then Problematic Summer Romance, I gave that one 3 stars. Because, so Not in Love, I thought the plot was quite good. I thought that was quite interesting. It was all really nice. Now, Problematic Summer Romance, that one was a bit problematic. It's in the name. That was such a dad joke. Anyway, but it was like, okay, so Not in Love follows 2 characters, and oh gosh, I don't remember their names. It was Ellie and Rose. Okay, I don't remember her name. The guy was Ellie. I didn't really like the name Ellie. I'm so sorry. I don't like the name Ellie, but like, for a guy, I don't mind it for a girl, but for a guy, so I just kept calling him a liar. I don't know if that's his full name, but I kept calling him a liar. Anyway, so the second book follows Ellie's younger sister and his best friend, his older best friend. So they have a bit of an age gap. I do like that, but I feel like the second book, it was kind of like dragged out. I don't know, but I did like the first one more. That's all I'm saying about. I'm really indecisive. I'm such an indecisive person. But here we are. That was all the books I've read these past 2 months. So as you can see, it was only 13 books, so it wasn't actually that many books. But had there been any more books, I would have been here forever talking to you about them. So, you know, grateful that it's only 13 for now. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. I know I certainly did. I love talking about books so much. It's just so much fun. And I really hope you start reading one of these books because they were really good. Most of them. And yeah. And I'm currently reading. What am I currently reading? I don't actually know what I'm currently reading. That's a really good question. Well, I'm reading this book right now. Okay, the book I'm reading right now, I won't go into much. I will go into that next month. There you go. I have been putting off this video so much, and now that I got it over and done with, it's just like crazy. Why was I putting it off? Okay, well, I mean, now I'm gonna be putting off posting it, but it's fine because like once I get started, it'll be fun. It was fun today, so I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, see you next month.